Peace, family. Man, as y'all can see, I done changed up the spot where I am. Man, I hope this sits up here right. Let me sit this up here right. Let me sit this up here right so we can get it cracking. Hold on. Let me sit that up there right. This is your brother, Saeed Olubala. Listen, I got a treat for you. I got my sister, vegan, cultured vegan chef, Rain Truth. She's gonna tell us all about what she does. She's gonna introduce her programs. Man, so just tune in. Hold on, let me get her on the line right now. Let me get her on the line right now. Hold on 1 second. Y'all already know how we do this. Boom. Let me get her on the line right now. Hold on 1 second, family. How was your day? How was y'all day? Hope everybody's doing well. I hope we're not too agitated with what's going on in Libya right now. We most definitely gonna continue to talk about that situation. Let me get my sister on here right quick. It's good too, man, to have a balanced show or talk where we're not just talking with the brothers, we're talking with the sisters as well. So hold on 1 second. Let me get the sister on here. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, family. Let me see. 1 second. Let me get the sister on here. Okay, here she is. Peace, family. How y'all doing, though? Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's in good spirits, good health. My brother Barry King, Stinker Hill, what's happening? My sister Donita, what's happening? Peace. How you doing, sis?
Hey.
Everything is good?
Yeah.
My brother Shakim, man, listen. I hope I do my sister a good service by saying that she is a premier vegan chef. I know a lot of times we hear about this vegan craze. Everybody want to go green. Everybody want to go a little bit healthy. So I decided to have, my wife is a health coach, and she's a vegan as well. But I most definitely wanted to have my sister, Chef Rain Truth, on and give us what she does for a living. So, my sister Rain, could you please introduce yourself and tell us, just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're located, and kind of the services that you add.
Okay. Let me know. Are you able to hear me pretty good?
Oh yeah, well, you loud and clear. You loud and
Okay.
clear.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, I'm Chef Rain Truth. I am I've been vegan for 33 years. I have 3 vegan children. My daughter's 19, my son is 15, and I have a 2-year-old, and they're all vegan as well. I've been
Mm-hmm.
doing vegan catering and food for 21 years since I was in high school. I started my first catering business as a sophomore in high school. And
Mm-hmm.
then, yeah, I went to culinary school and decided that, this was something that I wanted to do long term. And it was my passion. And so I decided to make it a legit thing to do. And so I do catering. I have a personal chef services where I come into the home and show you how to create, dishes on your own. I show you how to remove all the bad stuff from your cabinets and refrigerator and replace them with all the good, healthy stuff. And I do dinner parties, and I also have a culinary program for children ages 4 to 18 as well, which is also a plant-based vegan culinary program, which I've been doing for almost 10 years now. And so, yes, I'm
Okay.
a mobile. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I'm mobile, so I like for me personally, because I just love people. Being stationary is not a good thing for me, and that's not the best way for me to reach people. So I'm mobile. Like I'm based out of Waukegan, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago, but I travel all over with my services and my business.
So you in the car right now? Somebody just called you?
Man, I've been going all day long. I've been running. Yeah, I'm running. People, I'm delivering food. I'm, going to different things, and so yeah, I'm in the car right now. So.
Okay, well, tell me tell us what exactly made you choose to be vegan.
You know what? So as a child, like I was never a meat eater, a big meat eater. And so I'm vegan not only for health, but also for the animals. I am an animal advocate. Definitely believe in like, animal rights and things like that. I'm not out protesting, but I definitely have a connection with animals. And I've had a connection like that since I was 6, to be honest with you. I had a pet squirrel, I had, in the park, like, and so um, it was just, I don't know, it was just inevitable. Like I just never liked
Mhm.
eating animals. And then the very last time that I was being given a chicken bone, I don't know if you ever have seen a drumstick where you pull the meat off and on the bone
Mhm.
it's like purplish and it's like, like I don't know,
Yeah.
you just be
Yeah.
like, and so I remember like to this day, I remember looking and seeing that, and I remember touching the bone of the chicken, and I remember touching my wrist, and I remember screaming. I remember losing it, and my mother ran in the kitchen like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I just got a bone. I got, it's an arm." Like I just remember losing it, and so after that, it was a wrap.
Right.
It was, and yeah, everybody thought it was a phase though, but no.
Okay, so you're 31 years in,
33.
33
Yep, almost.
years
Yep,
in.
yep. I'm pushing on 33 years. Yep.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Say I've been eating meat my whole life, and I really want to change my the way that I eat for health reasons.
Mm-hmm.
What are some basic things that somebody transitioning? What are some basic things that they can do?
So for me, some people don't like the way my method, but it actually seems to be it works for people. So I'm not hardcore where I'm like, give it up tomorrow, don't do it. Oh my, like me, I'm like, okay, let's incorporate one day a week. Let's start one day and do meatless Mondays, and then or even with me, I deal with a lot of older Black people, elders who done been eating, hog maw pork and all those different things, and I'll start off with, hey, let's not do fried chicken this week. Let's do baked chicken or let's do grilled chicken. Because for me, like you said, when people been eating this stuff for 40, 50, 60 years, you don't want to shock them because I feel personally you set people up for failure when you just force it on them. And so that's what I'll do. I'll incorporate like one day first, and then I'll just show them like, okay, let's incorporate a salad into this meal this time. And then, okay, let's not do meat today. Let's do these crumbles and let me show you how this tastes with this instead. Or, a lot of times people like seasoning. They want the seasoning, they want the sauce. And so I tell people, like, do you realize that you're seasoning the meat with vegetables? And they're like, oh, I never thought about that. And I'm like, yeah, you're seasoning the meat with vegetables. And so once you do stuff like that, like I'll do a barbecue or jerk lentils and throw it on a sandwich. And they're like, man, I didn't know. And I'm like, you still got that taste. Hmm?
So do you make that as a package, or do you just take the lentils and?
So I just do the lentils, I actually have a picture on my page, but yeah, I just do the lentils whole. You can also, form a patty. I mean, I've done it that way too, but I like the floppy. So I like the lentils to be falling out, dripping down. So that's just me. I like to enjoy my food when I'm eating. So yeah.
Okay.
Ain't no
So
cute eating.
what is some transitioning foods for people that been eating meat and drinking milk and eating butter? What are some transitioning foods? Cause I know I was just telling you that I'm making a little meal right now. I got my little my wife put me on these whole grain. I can't even pronounce them. These some little macaroni
Panay,
joints and
panay.
some broccoli and some tomatoes and some mushrooms. So what are some transitioning foods that people could when they not doing they meatless Mondays or they doing they once a week? What are some foods that they could eat?
Yeah, so veggie burgers are really good, especially in the warmer months when people are going to barbecues and they're going to family events and things like that. To kind of um, make sure that you're not too out of place because even meat eaters eat veggie burgers. You know what I'm saying? So that wouldn't make a person because typically a person who's trying to go vegan, if they have a lot of friends that are not vegan, a lot of people deal with like peer pressure, like wanting to fit in and not wanting to be different than other people. And so that's something like veggie burgers, pasta dishes, like what you're doing now. Pasta is something that's very familiar and common to most people. So not that you want to just carb up and just eat pasta every day, but if you are trying to get away from the meat, you can do that for a while until find other things. As far as milk and butter, there are even like I can't believe it's not butter. They have a vegan version of I can't believe it's vegan now. So
Oh,
you can use that. Yeah, it's so good too. It's good, yeah. And then with the milk, the non-dairy milk industry has like been booming. I mean, you got almond milk, rice milk, cashew milk. There's so many flax milk. There's so many different milks, and they're reasonably priced. So
hmm
you incorporate that instead of the dairy milk, and um yeah. So that I mean, there's a lot of other different things that are very just accessible to you to transition. And then there's meat subs. There's a lot of meat substitutes and companies that are out here. You have the soy-based ones, and you also have the soy-free ones. Stuff that's soy-free that you can incorporate if you don't choose to do the soy.
Okay, I see my brother Marcus Klein has a question. This is my brother Marcus Klein.
Hey,
My
please.
brother says, "What's your baby food ideas for vegan infants?" I know
Oh,
I just seen something where a baby died because the parents were giving the baby vegan milk and the baby died. I don't know the ins and outs of that story, but I was assuming that they were only giving the baby the milk and the baby was now nourished. I'm not
mm.
sure about that, but what are some baby food ideas for vegan infants
So I love
besides the
avocado.
breast?
Yeah, because definitely I breastfed all three of my children. And again, like I said, all my children were raised vegan. So for me, like I love stuff like avocado. Like avocado is such good. It has such good fat content, and I mean, it's just like a great food to have. Even with the protein content. So I made all my kids food, all three of them. Even when I had my 19-year-old, I was making baby food when I was 19. I was making it so much my friends started buying. I had a whole baby
Where?
food bit. Yes, like seriously. When I was like, I knew I was supposed to be an entrepreneur, but like they
Right.
would be pulling their little jars of Gerber and stuff out, and I'll put my little BPA free, Ziploc, and they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I started making baby food when I was little. Like, I didn't even. Well, you know what? I don't even want to say I didn't know. I feel like us as Africans, like we just like our ancestors. There's stuff that just passes on with us that we don't even realize. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
like
Right.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so even with like baby food, you could do beans, like you can puree the beans, like high protein, like northern beans have very high protein content, like 12 grams per cup. Black beans, like 10 grams per cup. I mean, so you can do beans, but you want to make sure like that you are offering things one at a time a lot of times because like my baby has a peanut allergy, but I wouldn't have known that if I would have just kept incorporating like doing different things all at once. So, but my baby's first food was Ethiopian food. So, um, My baby's cultured. My baby's
Right.
cultured. So yeah, I try that. And if you look at other cultures, especially like Africans, like they, you know what I mean? Like they are feeding, the children what they're eating. And so my baby loves
Right.
Ethiopian food now. Yeah.
I know my wife when I had my baby girl. My wife, she made my baby's food. My wife, my daughter just stopped breastfeeding. Maybe my wife is on here. When she stopped breastfeeding, like maybe a few months ago or something like that, and she's about to be 3. But my wife, in the beginning, she was doing avocado and bananas, and then
Yep.
my baby loved avocado and bananas. And then I think she was doing like some beans and a whole bunch of other things. But that
Hmm.
is most definitely, we can stay away from them jars of food at the grocery store. Them Gerber baby foods. You can make
Man.
your own food. You
Yeah.
can most definitely. And my wife, I think she was doing it on purpose. She was feeding my baby, like you just said, feeding them to her one at a time so she can determine which allergy she had.
Yeah.
Um, oh, she just stopped in September. But yeah, so I just think that that's a great thing that we could actually raise our children. And and my baby loves squash too, lentils, squash,
Yep.
lentils.
Look,
But I think we have options. We can't say
so
that we don't
many.
have options.
Yeah.
We have so many options. And speaking of that chicken that you were talking about, I transitioned from pork like in the 80s. And I transitioned from eating beef in the early 2000s with the whole mad cow scare. But I love
Hmm.
my chicken. I love my chicken. So I was eating chicken, and I had that experience that you had as far I eating a piece of chicken, and it's like reddish pinkish, but it kind
Oh,
of purple. So
yeah.
you know how do you um okay, we got a question here. Let me go ahead and do the question. She said, "Hey sis, I tried going vegetarian before transitioning to full vegan, but I honestly lost too much weight. Any suggestions for maintaining the curves as we detox?" Yeah, I know my sisters want to keep their bodies. They don't think that vegans can put on weight. Trust me.
Hmm. Yeah, it's really about balance. It really is. And so for me, like if you're doing things like nuts, which have a high, it's high in protein, but it's also high in good fat. You can still get your good fats and things like that. And you got to make sure you're working out. You want to just not be doing cardio all the time. You got to do some weight training. You want to build muscle as well. But also you have to also remember though, a lot of the extra weight that people have on them is fat. I mean, it's unhealthy fat a lot of
Right.
times. So your body really want to be a size 6, but your plate and your dietary, habits are making you a size 14. And so,
Right.
I just feel like, don't get me wrong, like, yeah, you're right. You want to keep them curves, them hips, and, all of those different things. But I feel like embracing the new body, a healthier body, and just, like I said, doing
Mhm.
your weights, getting them thighs right, keeping them, and just understanding, like, health or just be sick. and
Right.
and not necessarily saying that if you're sick, that you're not healthy, but knowing that you're gonna release some of that weight and when you become vegan. Oh, and also for her, for the sister that just asked about that, like I feel like for me, I think with anything you do new, you got to build that support system around you. You got to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded. People who are
Hmm.
vegan, join a support group,
Most
start a
definitely.
support group, because that's gonna make it. Like I used to always have my children around other vegan children, so they knew that this was normal. This is not something that you're not just
Right.
different or whatever. So
They don't feel out. They don't feel like they the outcast or whatever.
yeah.
Okay. Speaking of this transitional meat, I know you had mentioned that there was some burgers or whatever. Tell us if you tell us about some of the different, because I know we got C10, you got tempeh, you got soy products, you
Mhm.
got all of these different
Mhm.
burgers. But I know for a fact that a lot of that soy is not good, right?
Yeah. So everything in moderation. There are a lot of people who have been eating soy for years and years and years, especially the Asian population. The thing though is that you want to try to eat as organic as possible, but a lot of the soy products, they're very popular. They're very, very popular. I mean, I eat them,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not dependent on them. I can throw a black bean burger together that I've made, in my food processor because, I just love cooking anyway. So it's not really like work to me, but it is convenient for some people, and it does help people that want to um, keep that texture. They want to just have something that reminds them of meat. I mean, it kind of is what it is. But yeah, there's soy products. There's tofu, which is just fermented soy. And then you have the seitan, which is just it's actually like a wheat meat, so made out of wheat gluten. Um, and actually, some of the seitan is still soy based as well. So
Right.
yeah, and so with the soy, like people talk about the estrogen, but actually flax seeds has more estrogen than soy, and so people don't really
Really?
talk. Yes, yeah. So,
Okay.
but you don't ever
Okay.
hear. Yeah, but you don't ever really hear people talk about like flax. Don't eat that flax, man. Don't eat the flax. But it actually has more estrogen than soy. And
Wow,
so
I never heard that myself.
yeah, yeah. And so what it was it? So
Okay, look, let me
seitan.
ask you this.
Yes.
I know a lot of times people may assume that if you're vegan or vegetarian, that you're healthy. Is there a
Mhm.
such thing as as a unhealthy? Well, am I saying that right? An unhealthy vegan.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially so me, I'm a researcher. I love reading. I love researching. And so what happens is a lot of times people go in like kind of like what I was telling you earlier, like people just try to jump in and they don't do the research, they don't study. And so what's amazing is that they jump in, but they just say, I'm not gonna eat meat. But they don't replace all of those things that they were getting from the meat, and they're not getting the vitamins, they're not getting the nutrients. A lot of people are starchitarians. They eat french fries all day, pasta, rice, potatoes, and they don't even eat salad. They don't even like salad. Not all vegans like salad, ironically.
Right.
And so
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so they're definitely unhealthy vegans. And there's actually a list. It's called Accidentally Vegan, and it shows all the stuff that like Doritos, like spicy spicy something Doritos are vegan. Oreo cookies, only certain kinds are vegan, right?
Doritos.
Yeah. Yes, spicy chili or something. It's like a purple bag. Like it's on the website. You can look it up. There's so much the Cracker Jack box. Those are vegan. And so a lot of people don't know that, and some people do. But there's a whole list of junk food that's just it's not like they made it vegan
Wow.
on purpose. They actually it's like I said, accidentally vegan. It just so happens to be vegan. I love your wife, man. She over here. She look.
Right.
I read her messages and I'm like, I love your wife. She over
Yeah.
here. Got me cheese. I
Right. So,
love
uh,
her.
hey, Kent, I see you like that hat, Kent. But anyway, for people who may be watching this right now, tell us something that if we go to the grocery store tomorrow and we're in the like me, I travel a lot. I'm on the road.
Mhm.
I'm moving around. Tell us something that um, a store or somewhere that we can go and we can get some food that it will be sustainable but inexpensive.
He's for money. So
Please, brother Bomani.
stuff that you can take just to eat while you're going, or stuff that you can cook. The stuff that you can cook.
Yeah, something that you can cook. Yeah,
Okay, but you're traveling though, right?
right.
Okay, so for
Yes.
me, because I travel a lot and I'm on the road a lot. Oats, you can soak oats and eat raw oats. You can eat oatmeal. with just water. You can actually just let it sit for a minute, throw
Raw oats.
some nuts and some raisins and other stuff. Mhm. Yep. Keep some oats with you.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that's what I used to do. When my kids and I used to go to visit my father out of state before he transitioned, like that's what we used to do. I used to have the oatmeal, had a cup, the boat like water, put that junk in there, let it sit for like 15 minutes, and we was eating oatmeal, you know. Um, Also again, nuts. Nuts are something really good. I always keep nuts with me. I actually just finished my raw cashews a second ago, but because when you're out and you don't maybe have options, like right now I'm in Milwaukee, and I can tell you right now there's a Popeye's chicken behind me. There's a Wendy's. There's a Subway. Like there's nothing really like right here, you know, that I could just be like, ooh, let me go get it, you know. So
Right.
I have nuts, and I'll just take a handful of nuts. Not only will it curb your appetite, but it'll give you a boost of energy as well. So you have two wins in that. So that I also
Right.
feel like you should keep some type of oranges, some type of fruit that's encased. So like bananas, oranges. You could even do apples. Have something like that in the car. It can, the life of it will last for a while, where you can just keep it in the car for a couple of days. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so everybody that's watching this, I need you to share this joint. I need you to share this joint. If you're not connected to my sister, Chef Rain Truth, go send her a friend request. Go follow, like her page. Make sure you stay in contact with the sister.
Yes.
Sis, I got a question.
Yes.
For we hearing all this information about the world is about to end and all of this. What are some foods that we can store that won't
Some food, stuff that you can make. You know, I have to be clear. So stuff that you can make at home, right? Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
beans. You want beans? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Beans. You got to definitely have some beans. Some beans. You want to have some rice. Get some brown rice, some white rice, organic white rice. Pretty much brown rice though. Like I said, nuts. I don't. I don't like canned food. However, if we are talking about something like about just having something to be, I would say get a couple canned items to have in the house just in case the power goes out. You're not able to cook anything or anything like that. You can't cook the beans and all those different things. Cans, they do try to get BPA free labeling. They are making more canned food with the BPA free labeling on it.
Uh-huh.
So try to do that if you can, or actually not even can. There's a lot of box and
Glass.
carton food, glass box and cartons too now. So let me make sure I say that you can actually get that as well. That's actually better if you can get that. So
The
yeah, so
the
that
cart
and then
the carton foods with like
yep, uh oh, yep, like they have
okay.
those with beans in it and stuff.
Oh,
You're kind of
really?
breaking up a little bit. Yeah, yep, they have those with beans in it too. Yep. And then so also too again, water. Water is so critical when you're vegan. You gotta drink a lot. I mean, you need to drink it anyway, but drinking a lot of water is really, really important. Especially because you aren't getting a lot of the fats from meat that you typically, get. You want to make sure you stay hydrated and stuff like that as well.
A lot of people they say, man, you don't eat meat or you don't drink milk. Where do you get your protein from? Tell us what are some foods, and I know we don't need a lot of protein, but since people want the protein, what are some foods that we can eat that has protein in it?
So I'm going back to my favorite, and this is, even brown rice. Brown rice has like 7 or 8 grams of protein in it, and so I go back to
Uh-huh.
beans. Like, like I said, the beans are from like 8 to 12 grams per half cup and cup, dried beans.
Hmm.
Avocado again, I think avocado might be like 9 or 10 grams per
Oh, really?
avocado. Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
they're very high level content, very high protein content foods. Nuts again, cashews, almonds, uh, things like that. And then leafy greens. People don't realize that leafy green vegetables they have protein in them. Spinach, even with spinach, you get your folate and your vitamin K. And so you get protein plus you get all this other stuff as well, you know. And you know, so that collard green, all the leafy, like I said, all the dark leafy greens, kale greens. I think kale might be 7 grams or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my brother Tyrell, what's Black World, what's happening? What are your thoughts on fruits and veggies that are said to be unhealthy, such as spinach, kale, and carrots, etc., due to its being acidic?
So I know that a lot of people, are like, you know, don't do cauliflower and broccoli and, you know, those different
That's the
things. Like,
Debbie diet, right?
yes, it is. And so my father was a master gardener. Okay, my father grew all of that, and me personally, I eat it, and I'm gonna eat it. You know, I feel like the body is your body's naturally alkaline. You know, I mean, even though it has, you know, your body is alkaline, and if you're doing, you can do alkaline water. It's about balance. You know, you're not gonna say, hey, I'm not gonna say to someone, hey, okay, don't eat meat. Okay, you're vegan now. Congratulations. Okay, but wait, don't eat spinach. Don't eat carrots. Don't eat, you know. I just feel like
Right.
I just am like, I'm not, again, I'm not an extremist. I'm never going to, 33 years in, almost 33 years. And, you know, my kids, 19 years vegan, you know, like, so I really I don't share those same sentiments on those foods. And I've actually grown them as well in gardens and community gardens. I'm part of community gardens, and I've seen it actually grown. And so I'll eat them. I eat it, and I'll make it for people that want to eat it too.
So my wife said this, that she tried the Dr. Sebi diet, and it didn't work well with her.
Yeah, garlic too.
It didn't make her feel, it
Yeah.
didn't make her body feel good. So I too think that it's just based on your body, you know, based on your
And you
body.
know that list changed. That list changed a couple times too. That list changed.
Yes, it did, and nobody knows why it changed.
Exactly. So stuff was coming off, stuff was going back on. Like, wait a minute. I was like, you know, y'all ain't about to drive me crazy. Have me pulling my locks out.
Right.
Right, Tanisha. Tell us.
Right. Everybody got time for that.
I'm over here laughing at the
right. Everybody saying that list changed.
Man, I'm telling you. It's true.
And I gotta say, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from the elder.
Smoking weed.
And I learned a lot from him. But I know a lot of those things I can't do without my garlic. I can't do without my mushrooms.
Man,
I'm about to eat me some broccoli right now.
You know,
I can't do without it.
And you know what's
interesting?
Yeah, it was interesting is, so I went to Sacred Woman with Queen Afua, and one of the liver detox that she had was with garlic. You know, you know. So I'm just like, I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna be. You know, a lot of the stuff that she recommended us doing was with garlic. So I'm like, Queen Afua, who I highly respect and admire, and you know, nah.
Hey, I know you was saying that you had an event coming up. Tell us about that event that you got coming up.
Yes, I'm super excited. I have my first inaugural Midwest Vegan Fest coming up in April 14th, 2018. It will be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen, you know, all the different things that had happened in Milwaukee over the past year or so, with a lot of crime and different things. But I'm looking to really change the face of veganism. I go to events and vegan fests all over the country, and I always notice the common theme is like, we're always running to pack it out, but the speakers, the vendors, I mean, we rarely are we're very underrepresented. And so for me, it's my goal to bring a little culture to a vegan fest. And so it's going to be really given. The video. Did you see that video? Uh-oh, you kind of froze up. Are you still there, bro? Uh-oh, I can't hear you. Hello? Are you able to hear me?